So pretty much all blues and rock guitar playing can be viewed through these minor pentatonic boxes, or they can be used at least as a point of reference. So for example, this riff, and that's all within one box, the first box that we're going to use. We're centered around the 5th fret or the 2nd dot. Okay, just follow along on the fretboard. We're going to go slowly. And then back up. We're going to split the box into 2 parts. So part 1 is and then back up. And go over that as many times as you need. So 100 times, 1,000 times, doesn't matter. Then add in part 2. So this is part 2. And then back up. And back down. And then both of the parts together. Go over it as many times as you need to. I mean, it could even be, you know, a matter of months of going up and down that box. So just go over it 100 times, 1,000 times, as many times as you need to really lock in that shape. Okay, we've got that box locked in. That's a bunch of notes that we know are going to sound great together. So we're going to improvise, but just start with one note and build on it, okay? You could stick with one note for as long as you need until you get comfortable. So that could be, you know, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, a week. It doesn't matter. You just stick with one note. So I'm going to give you an example, and then we're going to add in a note. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then more complex. And then add a second note. I'm going to go down one. Add a third note, up. Four notes. Five. Six. Okay, don't get too complex too fast, but I'm just showing you that within those, just adding a few notes together, you can very quickly get to something that sounds really complex and playing great things, but make sure you're really confident with each progression. So one note, drag it out until you're really confident. It could be a long time, it could be weeks. Add in a second note, drag it out until you're really confident with it, you know. So, brilliant. This riff is a really fun riff to get to learn the middle and the bottom of the box. So it's just something you can play along when you're watching TV. Once you get it, you can just play it over and over again and get really familiar with this. Okay, so here it is. once you're confident with that, we're going to try and add in a little bit of feeling and personality. So I already started sliding into this note here, but I'm going to bend this note here as well. So here we go, with a little bit more feeling and personality. And sliding off that last note. Cool. Okay, this riff is to practice the top of the box. So it goes like this. So once you get it, it'll sound like this. So first of all, plucking all of the notes. So then we can add in the hammer-ons and pull-offs. If this seems too advanced, don't worry, just skip over this. But if you are feeling confident, here we go. And speeding it up. So now you're confident with that box and you know all of those notes sound good together, you can just try and free up and just start jamming with those notes, okay? Okay, so now we have box 2, and it's really just a little addition to the first box. So let's play the notes. Just follow along on the fretboard. And back up. And same as the first box, we're going to go up and down, up and down, up and down until you're really confident that you're familiar with that box. And then the same thing that we did before, improvising, starting with one note, then adding a second note, then a third note. So just like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 notes. 3. 4, 5, and then you're all the way there once you got the 5. Okay, the riff exercise we're going to do is going to connect the two boxes together. Okay, the riff is going to go like this. Okay, so let's break that into 2 parts and slide into the first note, okay? And then the second part. Adding those 2 parts together. Alright, it's a pretty cool riff. And again, once you're really confident, like, hey, I definitely know where that box is, I definitely know where that box is, improvise and add them together. You could even do this starting with one note, adding a note, adding a note. So for example, I'm going to start in box 2. Back to 1. 2. 1. 2. 1. And we're up to box 3, this is our last box. So again, we're going to get the notes, get really familiar with the notes, get really familiar with the box. do the same exercise as we did for the other two boxes, starting with one note improvising, adding in a second note, adding in a third, etc. And this is going to be our riff exercise for this box. So the riff goes. So slowly. So you got to watch out for here, there's a little hammer on at the beginning. So hammer on, and another hammer on there. Hammer on, hammer on. Okay, and the final thing we've got to do is join all of the boxes together, all three boxes together. There's going to be in between notes, but you'll be able to find them. For example, there's actually no in between notes there to go up from box 2 to box 3. We have one in between note that you'll be able to find. So when we connect them all up, we can pretty much just go for it now. Everything that we've done can be repurposed and used again in its relative major key. So by that we mean everything at the moment has been centered around this note, but we can also center around this note and use everything that we've learned again. So try using the C major pentatonic backing track, use everything that we've learned over that backing track and see how it sounds just as good in that key.